Hey there, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with KeepInking.up.com. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And today I just want to do a quick little video showing you something that I received this week from Stampin' Up! And that is my Stamparatus. I am so excited to have this handy little tool in my possession. I've been waiting and waiting for it. I was one of the lucky ones who was able to reserve one last November during the reservation process. It was a very short window of opportunity, but I was able to get one, and so I received my Stamparatus this past week. If you were able to reserve one in December, you hopefully will hear from Stampin' Up! About finalizing your order for it later this month or possibly next month. So you should be getting it shortly. Do not worry if you were not able to reserve one either in November or December, because the Stamparatus will be available in our next annual catalog, which will go live June 1st. So you'll be able to order it at that time. Based on the extreme popularity during the reservation process, though, and the kind of frenzy that was created while trying to reserve these fabulous new tools, I do recommend that you try to go ahead and order it as soon as possible, beginning June 1st, to make sure that you get one. I have a feeling that it is very likely that the Stamparatus will go on back order very quickly. It is just a fabulous tool that a lot of people are really looking forward to using, and so I do believe it'll go on back order very quickly. So I do recommend that you order it as soon as possible, beginning June 1st. So what is the Stamparatus? The Stamparatus is a stamp positioning tool. Now, there are numerous stamp positioning tools on the market. Stampin' Up! Has actually carried one for many years called the Stampamajig, and I've been using that for years, and that's a fabulous little tool. It takes up a very little space, and it's very easy to use, and it is handy when you're trying to stamp an image precisely, and that's exactly what a stamp positioner does. It helps you stamp an image precisely where you want it. The Stamparatus, however, has several advantages over to the Stampamajig and certainly over the other stamp positioning tools that are on the market. And it comes at a great price point. It is $49 in the United States. So yes, it might be a little bit on the pricey side, but it is certainly well worth every penny once you see what it can do. If you have been following me for any length of time, you've been hearing me say for years that the Big Shot has been my favorite tool in my crafting space. And while that will definitely still remain one of my favorites, I think that the Stamparatus will take over as the #1 favorite in my stamping space, and I do consider it a must-have. I just think I know it'll make my life easier with stamping, and I know that it will help everyone enjoy their stamping in the future. So let me show you what is a part of the Stamparatus. It comes with 2 acrylic plates that have stamp surfaces. So you have 4 stamp surfaces. These plates do come off if you hold them vertically at the hinge and you just pull it up and out, and you can put a stamp on one side, flip it over, and put a stamp on the other. So you have 2 images on that plate, and then you can do the same with the other one. Pull straight up, put your images down, and put the plate back in, and then you stamp with your paper in here. This black piece is a foam. It's like a piece of fun foam, and it is there when you need to have this in your positioning tool when you are stamping with photopolymer stamps. If you are using red rubber clear mount stamps, you can pull this out and just place your paper on this grid. This grid is magnetized, and the Stamparatus comes with 2 bar magnets that store on the back. Ooh, they stuck together. They are super strong magnets. They were stored right here on the back. They are super strong. I actually have mine encased in some cute blingy washi tape that I've had for a while to help me lift them up. They're super strong. You can hear how well they stick to the magnet, and they're hard to pick up. So that's why I wrap them with the washi tape so I can have something to lift them up with. They also are super strong, as you saw. They will jump together, and the washi tape helps me to pull them apart a little bit easier if they didn't have that. They are, like I said, super strong, and when they do jump and hit each other, there is a possibility of having them break, which is another reason for having the washi tape. If they do break, at least the breakage will be contained and I won't have splinters of pieces around. We do want to mention that if they do break, Stampin' Up! Will not replace them because that is not a defect. That's just something that happens, and so I, as well as other demonstrators, are trying to make everyone aware that there is a possibility that they will break. So just be really careful. Try to keep them separate so that they don't come in close contact with each other, because they will literally jump to each other and snap together and be difficult. So I do recommend you putting some washi tape on there. Some people put duct tape. It's up to you. I'm just using washi tape, and so far it has been okay, but they're super strong, as you can tell. And even through when you have your foam on there, they still stick super strong, and they hold your paper down really well. So what you see right here now, I have a couple of images already on my Stamparatus. I was doing some stamping this morning with the sweet little something stamp set that is in the Occasions catalog, and this is actually like a 3-step stamping set. I have the first stamp is the background, and then a detailed image, and then the fine detailed image. I was stamping several of these cute little bunnies today, including the Happy Easter sentiment. Which I forgot to mention that you saw on the bottom here, there's a nice grid on here, but you can't see the grid once you put this fun foam on here. But if you'll notice, how I got my image straight was there's a grid on the acrylic plates as well, so you can line up your sentiment with the grid on here to make sure that you stamp your image perfectly straight. So that's another advantage of having a positioning tool. You will now have straight sentiments whenever you stamp, because you can set it up with the grid. So anyway, these are the images that I was stamping this morning. I was able to very quickly mass produce these cute little bunnies with all of these layers very easily because of the Stamparatus. A few days ago when I first got it, I stamped these cute little cards with the Lots of Lavender stamp set, which is a celebration stamp set. So you can see I had the outline image as well as the watercolor images, and I had them all spread out on my 4 stamping surfaces again, and I very quickly stamped out these cute little note cards, including the little sentiment, and then I also stamped the envelopes as well. So that is what the Stamparatus looks like, and like I said, I am super excited to have it, and so I wanted to share with y'all that it came and show you a little bit about it. Please go to my blog at keepinkingup.com, where I will post any information that I have about the Stamparatus and its availability for order beginning June 1st. I also plan to film some videos to show actually how to use it in action, how to actually stamp with the Stamparatus. So please return to my channel for those videos in the future. And thanks again so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.